Hello there, my hypothetical viewers, and welcome back to Ordinary Gaming, where we are playing some more Dark Souls 2. Last video, we finally, after 4 tries and 3 deaths, we managed to beat the Rune Sentinels with the help of the illustrious Brutas. Off camera, I did a little bit of leveling up, upgraded my swords. Also gave myself a bit more stamina, a bit more health, and a bit more carrying capacity. Also, I went ahead and picked up this ring. You get the Covetous Serpent ring from the Undead Merchant over here. This fine lady. You first meet her in the Cardinal Tower, just before you fight the last giant. Once you have beaten the Lost Giant and the Pursuer, you can come back to her. You talk to her enough times, she will give you the ring. You continue talking to her, and she'll eventually say it's time for her to pick up a move, at which point she will move here to Majula, where she will sell you an infinite stock of life stones. On top of that, we have also picked up some more arrows for our bow and arrow. I'm going to switch out my fire arrows for wood arrows, actually. So, I'm just going to quickly equip that. And make sure that I have got the right arrows equipped. So that would be the... So, interesting change from Dark Souls 1. In Dark Souls 1, you could have one active type of arrow at any given time. And that one would be represented by whichever one... You could have up to 2 arrows equipped at any time, but only have one active one. And you change them by using the right trigger. In Dark Souls 2, you can fire them independently. By holding right bumper, I will fire my iron arrows. By holding right trigger, I will fire my wooden arrows. Anyway, just thought it was worth noting. I'm going to switch back to our swords because we're definitely better with swords, but we do want some form of ranged attack. Just because we don't have anything else to fall back on. Anyway, I'm going to head back to the bonfire where we... just after the Rune Sentinels, and we're going to carry on towards our next destination, and our very first Great Soul. Now it's worth noting here in the Lost Bastille that there is this ladder you can head down here, where you will find a couple of dogs as well as a Pharos Lockstone. Now we're not going to do this right now, we don't need those items, we're not going to do the Pharos Lockstone, but basically that opens the way to the next area. Well, not the next area, it's a separate area from here. Something known as the Lunar Belfry. If you want to join the Clangorous Covenant, you'll have to go that way. You go down there, you use the Pharos Lockstone, and it will show you a wall to hit. We're not going to do that just yet, but we will have to do that eventually in order to fight one of the bosses. I just don't want to do it right now. I'm actually going to avoid the bell towers for as long as I can in this Let's Play, just because they're extremely irritating. Now, we're going to kill this guy first. Yeah, they can shoot fireballs, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that yet. I don't think I did. But they can shoot fireballs. It's highly irritating. Try to avoid being hit by it. They do a lot of damage. If you come over here, you will find a corpse just sort of hanging out over the edge. I'm going to pick up whatever this corpse is holding. A human effigy, that's useful. That's extremely useful, in fact. And also, if you come back to this door we just came through, you'll notice there's something behind it. The reason I didn't go for this straight away was namely because if I had, I would have aggroed him. He'd have come over here, boxed me into a corner, and that would have been a bad time for me. Now, coming over here, you'll immediately run into another one of these scythe-wielding pyromancer guys. No big deal, take him out, and you can hop down onto this rooftop here. This actually leads back to the area earlier on, which I was talking about, which you actually have to beat No Man's Wharf to get to. I was wrong, you can just double back and use this route. So that actually means you don't have to do No Man's Wharf at all. If you don't want to do No Man's Wharf, you don't have to go there. We're not going to do this right now, because if I remember correctly, that's just a flame butterfly on that corpse. I don't particularly need. You can use this to sort of get a shortcut to the next area, but we're not going to do that either because it really, really makes you vulnerable. And you'll see why in a moment. So we're going to head up here and just carry on our way towards our next destination, which I think you can actually see from here. Oh, you can kind of see it. It's sort of glitched out in the distance. But that's our next destination. That's called Sinner's Rise. And that is where we are headed. As you're coming through here, you might want to make sure you kill this jackass right here. I am so happy I'm killing these guys in one hit. I mentioned before that I was playing a Miracle Caster originally. And I was not actually capable of killing these guys in one hit. So usually what would happen is they would explode on me. And that was not a fun time. Nothing really of note about this area apart from what I've already shown you. After pulling that lever, you'll come around this corner. You basically want to make sure you kill at least one of these guys really quickly. I suggest this guy right here. And then you want to run the fuck back. And we'll see why in a second. Got taunt one of these guys to attack. And yeah, it sucks. These guys really hurt when they hit you. They'll run straight through obstacles to get to you too. Oh, shit. And they petrify, by the way. They also petrify, so they're just all sorts of fun. I hate these motherfuckers. I will be entirely honest about that. They are just so irritating. And they are actually the main reason I said we are going to need something that does long range in this area. Specifically for right here. This is an area you sort of have to tackle in a very methodical and gentle way. If you listen carefully for a moment here. Can you hear those change? Can you hear the sound of that twisting rope? That's because there's one of those mummified guys right up there. You can actually kind of see him right now. If you go too far out into this room, he'll aggro him and he'll come down and pay you a visit. Also, in this room, in that general area there, are a couple more of them hiding out in the pots. We're going to take a step back and see if we can't kill this guy. Yep, we can. Awesome. And we're going to carefully make our way here. If you get close enough, they'll eventually... Not going to do it? They're here. There he is. Awesome. I was kind of worried that my arrows wouldn't do enough damage to kill these guys one hit. But they do enough damage, and I'm very happy about that. So that right there, I would say, is the safest way to take care of this area. If you have fireballs or some kind of pyromancy, throwing a fireball into these pots is also a safe bet. You can also take out that guy with throwing knives if you want. Having dealt with that problem, if you come into this corridor right here, just going to put our power stance on. Come into this corridor right here. You'll notice there's a secret room back here. Isn't that cool? But it doesn't lead anywhere, which is a bit useless, except it's another secret door. Isn't that useful, eh? This actually leads you towards one of the first magic shields in the game. When I say magic shield, I specifically mean a shield that can deflect magical attacks. If you parry just right, you can send magical attacks back at the caster. This ring I just picked up just slows the degradation of items. And I know that sounds kind of worthless, but it's actually fairly useful in later areas of the game where you'll be running to people that actually do damage straight to your equipment. Also, you might find that your swords or your weapons in general break down really quickly with use. So, not a bad idea to come over there and come over here and grab that ring. It just gives you some longevity. It's worth having, I feel. Oh yeah, I remember that. There's a scaffold over there you have to knock over in order to get that item. If you keep walking around here, you will eventually get to the magical shield. Actually, I will show you it. I might as well. I don't usually come this way just because I don't need the magical shield. It doesn't give 100% physical reduction, and I'm not going to be using shields on this character anyway. Well, I'm going to be using them a lot less than usual. But if you just sort of hug the side here, walk all the way down here, or in my case, run all the way down here. And there you go, golden wing shield. So it's actually a pretty nice looking shield. Like I said, doesn't give full physical resistance. It gives decent magic resistance from what I recall, and decent lightning resistance. I'd have to check. I've never used it on any of my main builds. I usually prefer to stick to physical resistance shields. And you can just hop... Oh, we're dead. Well, that sucks. That is extremely unfortunate. Well, you win some, you lose some, right? In that case, we lost the battle against gravity. Pro tip, in Dark Souls, you usually lose the battle against gravity. But it's okay, we don't have to be human for what we're about to do. I am gonna use a human effigy before we fight our next boss, because I would dearly like to have some help against the next boss. But we're still a ways off from getting to the next boss. I've still got another bonfire I need to hit up first. And even once I've done that, I'm not even sure I'm ready to tackle the first boss. Oh, that... See, yep. What did I tell you about those fireballs doing a lot of damage, eh? Nice guy. Nice guy throwing fireballs at a lady, eh? Cordelia, you don't like that. I also just noticed that we, for some reason, we did not power stance attack him. Is that what you do when you are running and you press left bumper? Interesting. Okay, well. In any case, that was a stupid death. That shouldn't have happened. It means I just lost a whole bunch of souls, too. Not too many, though, which is nice. I knew I was probably going to die in this area, so that's why I went through the effort of sort of spending all the souls I did have following the Ruin Sentry fight. This area is pretty tough. It's not as tough now on this character as it was the first time I did it, but I still find this area to be rather grueling and difficult. And it is mainly because of those exploding bastards that I've mentioned before. They've got I think they're called undead prisoners, these guys. Oh, in case you're wondering about this door is trolling you. There's absolutely nothing on the other side of it. I'm kind of curious what this message says, actually. Not here, skeleton. Okay, yep, that's pretty accurate. I'm going to take a swig of our Estus. We're going to target this guy around the corner. I'm going to slice him into pieces. I'm going to slice this guy into pieces next. And we're going to dodge backwards, and we're not going to do it nearly fast enough. I think I need to up my adaptability a bit. We're going to run away from this guy. And we're going to come over here and slice him. There we go. That worked well. And same deal as before. Gonna take a step back, hit that guy in the face. Take a step here, wait for this guy to break out. Wait for this guy to break out. Come on, where are you? Guy always gives me a fright when he does that. And this guy over here. There. And we're good. Ta-da! I'm gonna go... Oh, wait, I don't have to go over there. I was gonna go over there to collect my souls, and then I remembered I died again, so it's pointless. No need to do that. And we're gonna take out our bow and arrow again. I forgot about these guys. And over there. And we're good. We're safe. You can go further up, but there's no point in doing it until you get a fragment branch of yore. If you don't know what that is, don't worry, we will be getting one soon. Well, actually not soon. Probably not for a few videos now I think about it. We're still quite a ways off. Over here, you could take the elevator down, that's perfectly reasonable, or you could do what I do and just jump down here. Pick up this item, bonfire aesthetic. Don't really need it, don't really want it. It's not going to be useful to us. The game's already hard enough right now. And you're gonna jump down here. Almost get killed by it. And finally, we're gonna open this chest. I know it doesn't look like it, but this is actually another shortcut. Earlier on, you might have had the option to... If we had gone to No Man's Wharf, we would have had the option to use a Pharaoh's Lockstone to basically reveal a illusionary wall that leads into that room. And using that room, you can come up from that bonfire straight to here without fighting the Ruined Sentinels. Kinda. Kinda, sorta. Having done all that, we're going to come over here. I'm going to use a Monastery Medallion to give myself some health, and I'll show you why in a moment. Actually, I'll use a Radiant Life Gem instead. But, let's have a look over here before we open this door. You see up there, you see those happy fellows on the other side of the bars? Up there on the parapet? They have crossbows. They're motherfuckers. Those guys will snipe you in the face and kill you pretty much instantly. So we got to be really careful running across here. We need our health. Our destination's actually that right side of the parapet, just above that broken wall. You'll see it in a moment. I think I'm actually going to equip a shield for this, now I think about it. Equip a shield. And hopefully we don't die. Oh, incidentally, I picked up a longsword, and I was considering using it with my hide sword, but it takes a lot of stamina to swing both of them at the same time. It means we can only get 2 swings in, so I think it's better for me to use the short sword instead. Anyway, we're going to double hand our shield. We're going to open the door, and we are going to make a bloody run for it. There's also a guy behind us with a sword. And that right there is why you double hand your shield. If you don't double hand your shield, those crossbows will do a considerably large amount of damage to your stamina, and you will probably be stumbled by them. Anyway, welcome to Sinner's Rise. This is actually our final destination for this area. And this right here will be our final bonfire for now. Run in here, light it, and hopefully we do not get killed by these royal knights. What the fuck was that? Did you guys hear that? I swear to God, that's new to me. That's the first time I've heard that. I wish I'd been paying attention for it. I wish I'd been quiet for it. What the fuck was that? So one of the guys probably jumped down there to give us a friendly little greeting. We're not gonna go and meet him. What we are gonna do is we're gonna loot this corpse. And if you're wondering why I'm not resting at the bonfire just yet, it's because these assholes respawn and they start attacking you immediately. It's bullshit. It is such harsh bullshit. Watch. There they are. Now, the second you exit out... Oh, hey, that's 3 guys with crossbows aiming at you. There have been a couple times where I have died, and then immediately been killed by those assholes and lost all my souls as a result of it. Are we going to kill them? Are we going to try and make a run for the Sinner? I do not know. How long have we been recording? Actually, I've been keeping track of it. We are going to make a go for the Sinner. We are going to make a go for the Sinner. So... Hold on, I think I might have just desynced. Give me a moment here. No, hold on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright guys, sorry about that. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Everything just seemed to be getting a little bit jittery for some reason. So we are going to grab an effigy, use it, and hopefully get some help for the next boss fight. I do not expect us to actually do it on our first try. The next boss fight is going to be a tough one. Oh, doesn't even look like I'm going to get help for it. I'm probably not in the soul range for anybody who would be leaving down a summoning sign for this fight. That sucks. This is going to be a really tough fight to do by myself. It's possible to do with a sword and board character. shields. A shield does actually really help in this fight, in the upcoming fight, which is against one of the great souls. Like like they were talking about how there's four guys with great souls, right? We're about to get involved in one of those fights, and I don't really want to ruin the surprise as to who it is. But if you know anything about Dark Souls 1, you might actually recognize this person. Maybe, potentially, probably not. I've beaten this boss in New Game Plus, and New Game Plus gives you some insight as to who they are as well, in a very unusual manner. I was kind of shocked to find out what I did. But anyway, I'm gonna come over here, attack this guy. We're doing a lot more damage. I like that. I like the fact that we're doing a bit more damage. Being able to kill these guys in 2 hits is nice. And I guess we're gonna make the descent. Yeah, I know what you were probably thinking. Boss was at the top of the rise. Nope. Boss is all the way at the bottom. Now, can I just say the level of anxiety I felt the first time I came down this elevator? Because you think about it, you're just going all the way down. You have no idea what to expect on the other side. I will tell you this, I was fucking terrified. I believe this is Lucatiel. Yep. Lucatiel's actually pretty awesome for the upcoming fight. Lucatiel, I find, is just a good summon in general. She takes a lot of damage, and she actually deals a fairly good amount as well. Unfortunately, unlike an actual person would be, she is not really that aggressive. And let me just say, holy fuck, what the hell is that thing? We are actually going to switch to a shield here because this motherfucker hits like a train. And it's just easier to block and get behind him. Yep, there we go. See, hits like a train. And we're gonna have him dead, hopefully. Yeah, what's it? Lucatiel had him dead, but whatever. I'm fine with that, just as long as he's dead. And there we have some Sublime Bone Dust. Kind of nice to be seeing that. Carry on over here, I'll come across another one of those weird scorpion chimera guys. I don't know what these guys are supposed to be. There's all kinds of freaky looking going on here. All kinds of pug ugly. And as per the Dark Souls canon, I have no idea what these guys are supposed to be. Like, is this what undeath sometimes does to you? Because if so, holy crap, it makes you ugly. Here's our lost one over here. Now, as you can see, Lucatiel is extremely tanky. It's really nice to have her with you for this. I just wish there was a way to heal her. Even with the heal miracle, I don't think it's possible to heal her. That was close. And this is looking bad. It's looking like I'm not going to have any Estus for the upcoming fight. Kind of necessary for me to take a shot of my Estus Flask there. I need to get my strength back up because, hey, we've got some more undead prisoners in this area. That's just fantastic, isn't it? You pretty much want to come up here straight away because there's a whole bunch of undead prisoners sort of hiding on the side. And as you pass down below them, they will hop down into the water and blow your ass up immediately. Hey, that's fair. I'm gonna shoot that guy in the fucking head. I missed. I didn't hit him in the head, but whatever. He's dead now, so it doesn't matter. Moot point. I actually don't know where the key for that is. Oh dear. And we're gonna go over to the other side. We're gonna clear out the other side as well. I'm trying to remember if there is something resembling Radiant Life Gems somewhere around here. I'm really hoping there is, because I could really use something that would give me health at the moment. This is partially my fault. I guess that's another reason you might want to go to No Man's Wharf, is because there is a Estus Flask shard in that area. I think there's 2, come to think of it. But, again, we're not doing that right now. I can probably wait until quite far in the game before I get my before I get my 4th use out of my shard. Yeah, you need to be careful. These guys are hiding in the water. I'm having a lot less difficulty with this area than I did the first time through. And I feel like that's kind of underplaying just how deceptively dangerous it is. But you've got the undead prisoners who do a lot of damage with their explosive attack. They're really relentless, and that explosive attack actually has a much farther range than you'd expect it to have. Thank you, Lucatiel. Just splat that guy immediately. And then there's the fact that you have those weird scorpion guys that just do way too much damage. So I have no idea where the key is for this area, which is too bad. I think I just realized the reason we might wanted to have that flame butterfly, because you can do something in here that makes this fight a lot easier. Let me see. Is it over here? Yes, it is. You kind of need... Oh, Radiant Life Gem, that's good. Maybe I will equip those then. Because I got 4 of them now, I think. Or I only have 3. I did use one, didn't I? I did. It was only like 10 minutes ago. You think I'd remember? Basically, for this upcoming fight, you kind of want to have a torch in one hand. It makes the fight a bit easier, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to do the torch. Instead, we're going to try and be aware of our surroundings and try and just pay attention to what's going on around us. This fight's tough. Not gonna lie, this fight is extremely tough. I'm gonna unequip that, I'm gonna equip those, and I'm also gonna equip the Rouge Water. And, you know, I'm gonna equip all my healing items, to come to think of it. Do I not have... I thought for certain I guess I didn't pick any up. And... yeah, we're gonna light a torch, actually. We are gonna light a torch. So, first things first, if you do decide to use a torch in this fight, and I will show you why you want the torch. But if you do want to use a torch in the fight, remember to light this sconce. It means you'll just be able to relight your torch whenever you come down here. Unfortunately, I haven't found a place where you can buy torches in the game, which is kind of weird when you think about it. But, oh well. Nothing I can really do about that. Anyway, if you come through here, we'll see our first Great Soul. Oh boy. This is going to be interesting. So, if you do not have a torch in this fight, it is very difficult to keep her targeted. She will hop around into the darkness around you and make it very difficult to keep track of where she is. She does not have a lot of health, she takes a lot of damage from lightning, and her attacks are relatively easy to dodge around. But she hits hard. That greatsword is not just for show. If you want to know exactly how hard she hit, watch how much damage her attacks do to Lucatiel. And realize that Lucatiel has a ridiculously large amount of health. I'm actually going to switch to my shield because I'm feeling very vulnerable without it out. There we go, and Lucatiel's down. This becomes a one-on-one fight now. The only real suggestion I can give for the Lost Sinner is be patient, pick your attacks, and be very aware of how much stamina you have left. This is a lot easier with miracles. If you have a miracle to use on her, like Lightning Spear or even Force. Even Force is enough. Not Force, Emit Force, I should say. But be very aware of how much stamina you have. Make sure you have enough stamina left to block at least 2 of her attacks following your own assault. And as always, strafe to the right. You will duck under her second slashes most of the time if you strafe to the right. And you will usually be able to avoid that thrust. So again, just be patient. Be patient with her. Try to keep close. Obviously not too close. If you're playing a low health build or a low armor build, you don't want to be too close to her because she can blast through a shield really easily. Do not attack her when she's doing this, by the way. You're just gonna have a bad time if you attack her while she's doing that. I'm doing really well here. Just because I know the pattern, I know I'm being very careful. She's not that difficult, but if you lose her in the shadows or you let her get hits on you like that, oh god, healing up's a difficulty too. Okay, and there. As you can see, she's going down fairly easily. I'm just very carefully chipping away at her health here. And remember, she does not like lightning, so that's why my Hide Sword is doing so much damage to her. You can pretty much do this. Oh, and that's why you don't want to hit her while she is blocking. That is exactly why. And the game is very picky about when it actually lets you know that she's doing that. I might be able to get her here. Yes! I got her. And there we go. That is the Lost Sinner killed. That is the first of our great souls slain. Once she's dead, feel free to come over here, open this door, and head on down to this bonfire over here. The game is nice enough to make a bonfire right here for you. Firstly, we're going to open our chest. Pick up our first fragment branch of yore. I'm pretty sure this message is lying. I know it looks like there should be an illusory wall there, it's just the texture. And here we go, here's our first bonfire. And I even got an achievement for that. Isn't that sweet? So once you've killed the Lost Sinner, just use the Farfire, it'll return you straight to Majula. And there we go. That is our first great soul embraced. Next time, we're gonna start our path towards the next one. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw here, let me know down below. And if you have any comments or criticisms you'd like to make about my videos, please feel free to leave them. I look forward to hearing from everyone. I really do want to get some feedback on my videos. Like, tell me where I can improve. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. Please, really. I want to make these videos as enjoyable as possible, but I need some feedback on them. Anyway, if you want to see more of my videos, hit the subscribe button. Check out my channel. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing Dark Souls 2 3 times a week at the very least. I might be doing it more than that. Depends on how my uploading goes. I think I've mentioned that before. But anyway, we're going to call it quits here. So thank you everyone for watching, and until next